just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Hillary Clinton, who once again is back in the news for some unhinged comments that she made during an interview in which she basically attacks voters on the other side of the aisle. Okay, Hillary is one of the only politicians that I know that is stupid enough to actually attack voters directly. Most politicians are smart enough to not engage in attacks on voters, right? They may attack other politicians, they may attack political ideology in general, but they try not to actually attack voters. That is not Hillary, okay? I mean, she has a history of essentially not only, again, attacking her political opponents, but also attacking their voters.
To just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. And unfortunately, there are people like that. And he has lifted them up.
Sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
Yeah. So according to Hillary Clinton, okay, she believes that Trump supporters are deplorables, okay, racist, sexist, bigots, and we need to be, I guess, reprogrammed, right, deprogrammed or whatever, re-educated, and we're in a cult, okay? That is what she believes. And again, she's back in the news with unhinged commentary because she's decided to come out of the woodwork and to attack President Trump and conservatives and Republicans for wanting women to have more kids, right? For supporting fertility treatments like IVF. For whatever reason, Hillary thought it would be a good idea to attack Trump supporters for wanting to support women giving birth.
As I posted the other day, this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, you know, what we really need from you women are more children. And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children. And they are talking about, you know, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked. Or medals if you have 6 children, while they're contemplating cutting Medicaid, while they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality child care. They're cutting Head Start. I mean, you go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, you know, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, you know, raising children. So this is another performance about concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family, return to being a Christian nation, return to, you know, producing a lot of children, which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up. But, you know, one of the reasons why our economy did so much better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a, you know, larger than normal, by American standards, family. So this is just another one of their, you know, make America great again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can. and, see what happens.
Yeah, this is the modern day Democrat Party, folks. Make no mistake about it. Hillary Clinton just came out against nuclear family, Christianity, and having more kids, right? Like, this is effectively, again, the Democrat Party, right? That is what they're against, okay? They're against all of the things that make this country great. That's what they're against. Again, it is very fascinating. And Hillary was pro illegal immigrant. She was pro feminism. She was pro the things that are not making this country better, right? So with that being said, it doesn't stop there when it comes to the comments. Hillary Clinton also expressed her dislike for Republican women who she claims have become handmaids to the patriarchy. Take a look.
What advice do you have for the first female president of the United States?
Well, first of all, don't be a handmaiden to the patriarchy, which kind of eliminates every woman on the other side of the aisle, except for very few. Lisa Murkowski.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, there's a few. Look, first we have to get there, and it is, obviously so much harder than it should be. If a woman runs who I think would be a good president, as I thought Kamala Harris would be, and as I knew I would be, I will support that woman.
Yeah. So, according to Hillary Clinton, Republican women, aka women who don't agree with her, are handmaids to the patriarchy, right? Basically, they sell out, right? They're selling out, okay? Because you're supposed to put your gender above all of your other values, right? You're supposed to put your genitalia above everything else, according to these people. Just like the pro-blacks want you to put your race above everything else, right? That is how the Democrat Party thinks. And you know what I find to be so funny about all this, right, is the fact that Hillary Clinton is the same individual who will turn around and complain and whine and cry bigotry and hate because people don't want to vote for her, or people don't want to support a woman, okay, who is running for president, again, her. She wants to essentially blame everybody else instead of acknowledging the fact that, hey, maybe, just maybe, it's not a great idea to personally attack voters who disagree with you.
I started the campaign knowing that I would have to work extra hard to make women and men feel comfortable with the idea of a woman president. It doesn't fit into the stereotypes we all carry around in our head. And a lot of the sexism and the misogyny was in service of these attitudes like, we really don't want a woman commander-in-chief. He was quite successful in referencing a nostalgia that would give hope, comfort, settle grievances for millions of people who were upset about gains that were made by others.
What you're saying is millions of white people.
Millions of white people. Yeah, millions of white people. He turned out to be a very effective reality TV star in our presidential campaign.
When you said basket of deplorables, you energized.
No, but they were already energized.
But you offended some people who didn't personally feel deplorable at all.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I'm sorry I gave him a political gift of any kind.
That was a gift.
But I don't think that was determinative.
I just don't trust her.
They weaponized her husband against Hillary Clinton, and the bottom
They did all
line
those
is,
things.
This country is a
Yes.
misogynistic country, and this country is a country that, out of all of the first world countries, hasn't been able to elect a female president.
So
That's just factual.
Yeah, hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Hillary blames sexism, bigotry, right? She basically threw in racism as well too. Okay, she blames all those things for why she lost. But when confronted on her own words, her own campaign, right, things that she's done, right? Well, I didn't do anything wrong, right? It was totally a good idea to call half the country deplorable, right? Totally great idea, Hillary. That didn't motivate anybody to come out and vote against her, right? That makes her a more likable presidential candidate that people are going to want to support and get behind. Hillary refuses to take responsibility and accountability for why she's failed, right? And even today, you have the cackling hands. You have people like Sonny Holston boohoo, whine, and crying, sexism, and bigotry as the reason why women can't win, right? And the reality is that the Democrats, the women that they have put forth as the nominee of the party, they have not been good candidates. In the case of Kamala Harris, well, she was just stupid, right? She just was not very talented, okay? In the case of Hillary Clinton, she was extremely arrogant, okay? So arrogant that she feels as if it's a good idea to personally attack voters, right, who disagree with her. When you're talking about trying to get people to vote for you, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to attack those people. She has not seemed to have learned her lesson, because now she's attacking women who support the Republican Party, which to me is just weird, considering how Hillary is supposed to be pro-woman, right? You're supposed to be pro-female, but yet she is launching sex and gender-based attacks against women simply for disagreeing with her, right? It's one thing to, criticize the other side's opinions, but it's another to launch attacks just based off sex, based off the fact that, hey, you're a woman and you're not supposed to support Republicans, so therefore I'm going to smear you, right? Yeah, you're not going to attract a lot of women doing that, okay? Especially a lot of married women who happen to have husbands that are more conservative, right? And again, this is why Democrats struggle when it comes to basically all demographics outside of single women, right? This is why Republicans still win a majority of women who are married. This is why Republicans still win the majority white vote. Well, why is that? It's because the Republican Party is not openly attacking people based off their skin color and their genitalia, right? For not agreeing with them, right? That's not what the Republican Party is doing. But that is what the Democrat Party is doing, right? According to the Democrat worldview, if you are a woman and you're not liberal, then you're not a real woman, okay? Or if you're black and you're not liberal, you don't support Democrats, then you're not really black. That's what they do. And Hillary Clinton is essentially doing her version of that, doing this interview. And it's fascinating stuff, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just turns people off, but yet Democrats double and triple down on this. So, again, Hillary can say whatever she wants. I just think that Hillary Clinton is the gift that keeps on giving to the Republican Party, in the sense that the more that she talks, the more that she pisses people off. You kind of remind people of why is it that this country rejected Hillary back in 2016, okay? And why is it that the Democrat Party is going to continue to struggle going into the future? Because the leadership of the party, the major players of the party, are openly attacking voters based off their identity, right? And I just don't think that this tactic is going to work. But, hey, this is the modern day Democrat Party, as divisive as ever. Hillary has not learned a damn thing, right? In fact, maybe they should run Hillary again, right? Maybe they should run her again in 2028, okay, since she's still talking, right? Maybe she should run. I think that would be fascinating, because it will essentially guarantee a win for the Republican Party. Could you guys imagine a Democrat primary with Hillary, AOC, and Kamala Harris? Wow, those debates will be great entertainment, right? Great entertainment, okay? They're going to continue to turn off men, right? They're going to push men away from the Democrat Party. Again, this is why men have walked away. And that's why they need to be front and center, right? Front and center, to guarantee that the Republicans always keep the male vote, right? And to make sure Democrats never, ever, ever win the male vote again, right? That is essentially the path that they're going down if they're going to keep putting out these unhinged women as their messengers. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.